Hello students, this is Suraj Rasar here. Now let's see the remaining part of M-commerce application architecture. Okay, so in previous theory session, we have started with one real-time example to understand how does this M-commerce application works. So for this purpose, we already seen what is this first point, what is the second point, third point, fourth point, fifth, and the sixth point. So till the sixth point we have already finished. Okay, so we already seen that the first point represents this one, that is the verified user can search for the product through merchants application via mobile network services. Okay, internet is one kind of service available within the list of services available within the mobile network. So for this purpose, I had considered this example also, that is from Flipkart m-commerce based application. The user is purchasing some content. Okay, so this one represents the user is searching for some product through the search engine available within this merchant's site through this Flipkart application. Okay, so user can search for any content or information. So here the second step is user selects a particular product on site and sends the request to the merchant. So what is the meaning is, right now this user is ready to buy any product. So that product is we have considered the product as a book. So user wishes to buy a book through this merchant, that is through Flipkart. So when the user is ready to buy a product, the same request will be delivered to the merchant. Okay, so this two, that is second step, represents this thing, that this user is delivering the request to buy to this Flipkart. Okay, so third step is merchant sends the confirmation request about the purchase to the user. So what does it mean is, right now after when this Flipkart is this user is ready to buy the product, and when this user sends the request to buy this product to this merchant, again merchant sends back the confirmation request to buy about this product, sorry. Okay, and same thing is explained, or it is shown here also. First represents as user can search any content on merchant site. Second represents as user is when the user is ready to buy any product like a book. So user is delivering the request to the merchant, okay, to to buy this product. Again, based on the request, the merchant delivers back the confirmation response. Okay, so user needs to confirm this request delivered by the merchant, so that in next step the merchant can proceed for the financial transaction. So here also I have already explained this the end user, or the user and merchants are connected through mobile network. Okay, so here the mobile network may include the list of services like internet, SMS, calling, and so on. So when the user confirms the request, that is the fourth step is represented for that purpose only. When the user confirms the request, the merchant receives the confirmation request from the user. Okay, now same thing is again displayed here also. Okay, so this fourth step represents as the confirmation from the user to proceed for financial transaction. Okay, so after that what happens is, this merchant again sends further the financial request to the payment gateway. So this fifth step is represented as this one, even though if you see this diagram here, okay, this merchant sends the financial request to the payment gateway through internet. Okay, so it's not necessary that here just only the mobile network is available. Any network can be used between this merchant and payment gateway. Okay, same thing here also we already learned that two types of networks can be used to connect the participants of the m-commerce. So in some cases mobile network can be used, or in some cases wired network can be used. So wired network can be the broadband network or rest of the networks also. Okay, so here again, when this request is received by the payment gateway, the payment gateway basically generates the user details approval request from payment gateway. Okay, so it delivers this request through internet to the merchant. If you see its description, it's written as see, fifth one is merchant sends the request to the payment gateway to do the online financial request. Now after that, payment gateway sends a request to the user to prove himself or herself about the user validation from banking site. So in short, what is the meaning behind it is directly, okay, here the users, that is the whatever be payment gateway has been selected by that particular user, so it delivers back the the user details approval request through this merchant itself to the end user who is using that merchant's application basically. Now user again needs to prove himself or herself that this user is registered within this bank. In short, this is the that particular bank's service user. So this is the step. After validating user through user credentials, user has to provide the signature details for financial approval so that the user requested transaction can be done. Okay, so if you see again this diagram here here, okay, so when this request is received through merchant by this user, that is the 6 number represents the request. Okay, so after that only this user has to prove himself or herself about the authorization by through user credentials. Okay, and those user credentials will be delivered through the payment gateway, okay, to the bank directly. So it is a very simple thing. Now again let's consider same example here. What does it mean is, when this user authentication request will be received by this user, okay, here user sends back the user credentials, okay, through this payment gateway, okay, to the bank directly. Okay, now what does it mean is, okay, its meaning is very simple. When user when this payment gateway shows, okay, displays the user interface where user needs to enter the user credentials within the user interface of that particular bank. So this is this step. While making online transaction also, when you are relocated from that payment gateway to the selected bank's site or bank's website, instead of this phone pay, let's say if you have selected the payment gateway as Tech Process, then it will ask to the user to select the desired bank or destination bank. If you have selected, let's say this user has selected SBI Bank. Okay, so after that selecting bank, again bank will prompt to enter the user credentials including username and password. Okay, so in short, this request is nothing but, that is the sixth request is nothing but this information, that is user credentials. So in that case, in short, the payment gateway is connected to the bank here. Okay, actually it is not shown here, but don't get confused, its meaning is this one, that is when this kind of request is received by this payment gateway. Okay, payment gateway in short is connected to the bank, and based on that this request is generated to know the user, and after that this user passes back the user credentials. That is, user has to enter the username and password or whatever the method has been applied by that particular bank. So again, when this information will be delivered through payment gateway to the bank, okay, so then only bank will approve that user Okay, so indirectly non-technical language, if you wish to understand what is the meaning behind it is, this bank will understand or identify that user, yes, this is the registered user within me, and I am ready to do the financial transaction. Okay, let's say in this example here, the user wish to buy any book, let's say which cost around, let's say, 400 rupees. Okay, so in that case, okay, when this 7th step will be done here, the in short, the user is, user has provided the user details accurately to the bank. Now bank agrees to complete or approve the financial transaction for asked amount, that is, which is suppose 400 rupees in short. Okay, now here is a very important step. Don't get confused, because you can see here two dotted lines has been shown in this diagram. Now just try to understand what is the meaning behind this dotted lines. Okay, so before explaining it through a diagram, first of all just try to read the statements. Providing signature is very important step in m-commerce architecture. Okay, so here the banking authority directly interacts with authenticated user through network services. Now what is the meaning behind this step is, in short, see, it is fine that right now the user has entered the user credentials, that is username and password, and even though the bank is also ready to do the financial transaction, now only the bank is asking to complete the last remaining step, that is just try to approve yourself to before making the final financial transaction. Okay, and this step may vary, it varies bank to bank. Okay, a particular bank can have their own system to again finally interact with a particular user. In this session, I am not going to explain you again what is digital signature and digital certificate. You have already learned while learning network security and cryptography, or you might be able to learn while learning information security too. So here, okay, if you go through this diagram here, after proving himself or herself that yes, I am the registered user, this bank will directly interact with the particular user. Okay, directly interact with that particular user, for which purpose just bank wish to finally confirm. Okay, you can consider it as this is a multi-level security, multi-level based security is applied. Okay, for before doing the final financial transaction. So again bank will try to interact with user directly, where there will not be any interaction with the merchant, or there will not be any interaction with payment gateway also. Just try to remember this step, very important. Okay, that's why this it is represented in red dotted line. Now what is the meaning here is, okay, just try to consider again same example. Okay, so what was the flow is, after this seventh step, that is when the user are prompted to enter the user credentials, that is username and password, user will be logged into the bank's site only. Okay, and after that when the user wish to proceed to make the financial transaction, just last time this user, the bank wants to confirm about the user's information as well as user's acknowledgement to complete the asked transaction. In our case, we have considered, let's say the user wish to make 400 rupees transaction to buy that particular book. So what will be ways, in which way this thing will happen is, okay, it depends on, or it varies bank to bank. For example, okay, in SBI especially, the one-time password will be delivered, which has to be entered by the user to complete the last and final security based step. Okay, so in this case what happens is, okay, this is a very important step. So basically the bank will send the request to the end user to prove himself or to for approval purpose for the asked financial amount, that is it will be the final approval. Okay, so this request will be delivered, okay, by the bank. This is your 8th step. Okay, when this request will be received by that end user through any medium, like in SBI's case especially, the one-time password is delivered through SMS services. Okay, so especially this thing is mentioned here. Okay, if you see, that's why the term here mention it as a SMS. Okay, so in any medium, through any services of mobile network, okay, it can be used. So right now in this 8th and 9th step, basically only SMS service is used. Okay, so after that only the user is going to enter the OTP received within the messages of this smartphone. Okay, so this is the 9th step. Okay, and after that only this bank will receive this information, okay, or approve that information. So again I'm reading the same statements here, that is providing signature is very important. Okay, we already seen this step. So through mobile network services only, user sends the signature details to the bank directly and proves himself or herself, which is considered as financial approval to complete the financial transaction. Okay, so in short, here again the the user, okay, provides the details, okay, that is the delivered OTP will be entered by the user, okay, which is in short the 9th step, I guess. Okay, so after that only the user will understand that yes, user is ready to do the financial transaction and I should deduct the amount from that particular user's account. Okay, so in non-technical language, if you try to understand same thing again, the user needs to prove himself as this is the user. Okay, next thing is user needs to approve the financial transaction also, okay, when the bank is ready to do the financial transaction. Okay, so after this 9th step only, okay, let's see the next step which is mentioned here. The bank generates the receipt about completion of transaction and send it to the payment gateway also. Apart from m-commerce architecture, bank updates the same details in user account also. Even though if you see same diagram here, okay, so 10th step is, in short, it is going to deliver the receipt or the financial transaction or approval of the same requests of that is of same financial request to the payment gateway. Okay, so when this information will be received by this payment gateway, it will again deliver the same information to the merchant. So in short, okay, so I'm just again drawing here same thing. Okay, that is bank is going to generate the receipt and same confirmation will be delivered to the payment gateway, whatever be payment gateway, okay, which has been selected by that particular user while making transaction. In our case, okay, the payment gateway selected was, in short, the PhonePe. Okay, so here the PhonePe will receive this receipt, that is the approval of financial year. Now here the banks, here if you see this statement, okay, also apart from m-commerce architecture, bank updates the same details in user account also. Okay, so this is the bank's part, that is the bank will update the same details within itself, that is the same amount will be deducted from the within the user's account only. This is the meaning behind it. There is no any complicated meaning, so don't get confused. Now 11th one is, based on the completed transaction, payment gateway shares receipt about the same with merchant. Okay, so same thing is here. So when this transaction will be completed, okay, the payment gateway will deliver the same information to the uh, merchant. See here, I'm sorry that I have drawn by mistake two-sided arrows here. Just only one-sided arrow will come here. Okay, my mistake. Okay, and same thing will happen here. That is the same received. That is based on the same response from bank. The payment gateway will deliver the information to the merchant, okay, which is our 11th step. Okay, and after that, obviously the the merchant is going to share the transaction completion receipt with the user. Okay, that is after that verifying the product, user, and transaction. Okay, something happened in my screen. Okay, so after verifying the product, user, and transaction details, merchant shares the transaction completion receipt with the user. Okay, obviously the when the merchant is going to, after that only the merchant is going to verify the product. It might be like whether the product is really available within the stock or not. Again, it is going to verify the user details, and obviously the merchant is going to verify the transaction details also, and then only after that the merchant is going to share the transaction completion receipt with the user. So in short, this was the last step. Okay, after which only the transaction will be completed. Okay, and here that is your last step, that is 12th step. Okay, so after that only the transaction will be completed and the user will have the receipt of that transaction. So I hope you have understood right now. Okay, so let's say how does this m-commerce architecture works. Okay, you should just only keep in mind that where the bank is directly interacting with user, where the user is interacting with the bank through merchant, through payment gateways, and so on. Okay, so just try to understand its theory also. Okay, and even though in this example also, in very simple way, we have seen like how the user can buy or purchase any product through any particular m-commerce based application. Okay, so in our case we have considered the example as Flipkart m-commerce based application where user wish to buy a product, okay, which is in short the book in short. Okay, so parallelly, while understanding the same concept again, you can refer this presentation file also, and you can refer this example also, even though you can go through the working and explanation points also. Okay, which includes almost 12 points okay, which are related to the this diagram only. Okay, so while learning this the working of m-commerce, basically first of all you should finish with the previous session also, that is what is introduction to m-commerce. Then next point, a major point, we have already seen that what is m-commerce application working through types of transaction routes, and last one which we have seen is m-commerce application architecture. And just try to go through both of the figures, that is this figure as well as this figure also. So hope you have understood the m-commerce in detail. Okay, and as I mentioned in previous theory session also, okay, like what are the m-commerce security issues, what are pros and cons of m-commerce or mobile payment system. Okay, so such kind of things we already discussed in first unit or in second unit as well as in fourth unit also. Not in fourth, in third unit also we have a little bit discussed about some such information. So you can consider. Okay, now this as final lecture, so you can ask me the doubts related to the same unit. Okay, I just try to go through my video file, just try to go through this PPT, this presentation file, as well as just try to go through the video file so that you can see this onboard explanation here also, because it will be helpful to explain or to understand in more easily also, even though I had considered same kinds of examples to explain the previous points also. So I hope you understood this m-commerce in more depth. So if the question is asked, explain what is m-commerce and what is mobile payment system, then you should explain this point. Okay, so if the question is asked, even though, how does any m-commerce application works, like how does Flipkart application works, or how does Amazon m-commerce application works, then you should explain this point, remember, as well as this point also. Okay, so even though any question is asked related to the mobile payment system or m-commerce, it might be theory, it might be its architecture, it might be its working, so you should explain first of all this diagram as well as this diagram also. Okay, and it's not hard and fast that you should refer those notes, this notes only, that is okay. This is just only for your understanding purpose, and I have referred as standard references also, but again remember same thing. If you wish to refer any reference to learn what is m-commerce and mobile payment system, then you should refer standard references only in that case. And you can explain your answer through the references, your standard references, which may include some diagrams, architectures and so on. But remember, it should not be, it should have some standard base or reference. Okay, so while referencing, if you are not referencing this session or the lecture notes or the theory notes provided by me, then make sure that you are going to refer the same relevant information from standard references only. Okay, don't write anything else like based on your general knowledge, or at least you should cover the main points within this unit also. So I hope you understood understood what is m-commerce and what is a mobile payment system. If you have any doubt, you can ask me further. Thank you.